Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with the Redheaded Turk, Reno Lost Chapter Lufenia. We're bringing a team of Strago, Ash, and Edward. I'm hoping this will qualify for any sort of extreme TCC challenge that might come down the pike. Since it's no burst, no synergy, we're not going to be using that friend unit either. Handsome though Golbez is, I'm mostly leaving them there for the cameo. We're also not using Arciela, Warrior of Light, or Eldmarsh, because I figured all three of those are really popular units who are really good for this stage. Woohoo! Oh, no core, of course, either, because Jesus Christ, core. But, I would have obviously waited to post this until the challenge had been announced, but I'm going to be dealing with some stuff the next couple days and don't know if I'd be able to have a chance to post it anyway, so here we are. Not the first time I called my shot, and wouldn't be the first time I called my shot in error, so apologies in advance if the band list ends up including like Edward or something. You'll actually note we're going to be using the regular Arciela call during the course of this run, but not the LD, because usually the way it works is band characters are allowed as regular but not LD calls. Before we really get into this, of course, you can go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below with thoughts on this fight, thoughts on this team, your thoughts on life in general. I'd like to hear from you. It's been a while since we checked in. Let me know how you're doing. You can also catch myself, Raw Life, and Type Zoe every Monday night at 8:30 Eastern on the live stream, our weekly DFFOO Twitch stream, which we, talk DFFOO, play some DFFOO, have a good time. It's a fun little way to spend a Monday night, so we look forward to seeing you there. We actually recently updated the URL, so if you have that shit bookmarked, you're going to need to update it. Strago coming here with the Ignore Defense. My goodness, I love it. I think this isn't the first time I've used a team of this style to get through a fight. With the self-imposed challenges, the know this, the know that type stuff. And I gotta say, it's a bit of a touchy business. Because we're basically, now that the recast is up, we have one way to avoid being killed by the recast, and that's for them to never act again. Luckily, we have a bunch of different ways to prevent that from happening. I'm going to go ahead and refresh that buff with Horde Swing's Glow. And we have them sleeping. We also have them paralyzed, because why not? No kill like overkill. But yeah, Edward's going to, of course, be clutch here with those useful sleeps. Ash, she has paralyzed, but it's not really going to come up super often in this fight. The main reason she's here, of course, is that delicious combination of Enchant, Imperil, HP damage up, a little bit of health regen, which is going to be useful given how these guys' miss mechanics work, and her turn manipulation with Queen's Order. Basically, she just kind of does everything. It's nuts. And finally, Strago does Strago things, ignoring defense, dealing absurd amounts of damage, and re-breaking when necessary, which plays in nicely with our plan of, kind of keeping them off us, so to speak. Here's the regular Arciela call. That is the last time you're going to see her show up in this fight. If you happen to see her on the field again, feel free to point out that I'm a liar and a cheat. But yeah, we are just kind of plowing ahead, trying to keep these guys from, beating us up. And we can break them there. It's a good thing, because let me tell you, Edward's not going to be hitting super hard later in this fight. Got our Queen's Order in effect. Goodness gracious, that is a lot of damage for an EX. I know Strago gets a pretty baller level 90 in JP, but at this point his EX is already doing pretty good, so I'm happy about that. Stalling out for a second with the buff there, because I don't want to be wasting my LD buff on Edward. Granted, in the process I'm also letting the HP damage fall off, but that's not as important as the auras he's providing. I gotta say, Ash has been a very interesting character to learn to play, because she plays differently than almost any other character in the game for me, because she's very aggressive with her LD uses. You basically always want, because she's slow and her abilities are powerful, you pretty much always want to have you want her, special Queen's Order HP attack on tap whenever you can use it. Not necessarily using it all the time, but you want to be able to use it whenever, so basically you don't use the LD to refresh your buff, and you use the EX whenever you want, basically, when you want to clutch paralyze, when you want some extra damage. Does a bit more damage than the regular skills, and the regular skills, they show up when you need to refresh your buff, but you don't spam skills with her the same way you normally spam skills with other characters, which kind of took some getting used to. I definitely had kind of an adjustment period learning to use Ash, because I'm used to regular characters who don't use their LDs every, like, 3 skills. But it's all good. She provides so many useful things that it was worth learning, I think. That was a little sad launch. I'm not happy with that. Kind of glad Golbez gets to make a little cameo down there. I, of course, love using him, but we already used him in this fight. Yeah, we don't need to do that again. Using Brave to Death there to charge the EX without wasting use of Quasar. I say waste as if, like, we're not going to use all of our Quasars in this fight. I guess technically I think we're going to be ending the fight, spoilers, with 1 Quasar, but it's going to be close. These fights are... A fight with a 65 turn count like this is tight enough when you're using, you know, like when you're using a no BT team. It's even tighter when you're using a no friend no BT team, because that means you can't even ride the friend's BT effect. I'm gonna feel kind of like a stupid tryhard if they end up not announcing a TCC challenge. And I'm gonna feel like a dork if they announce a TCC challenge that bans one of these guys. So we'll see. My fate is in Macnol's hands, and I'm counting on him to be a merciful overlord. For those of you who don't know, thecityinfo.com is a fine source of information run by an absolute gentleman of a fella who you should definitely treat with respect and kindness. That out of the way, we have now used Ramu, because we are relying now on that Paralyze to keep them from acting with the mist up. Thought process there is I wanted to kind of save the Lullaby for the final stretch, and they self-delay when they go under 29%, so I didn't want to risk a case where, like, I Lullabied them and ended up losing most of the Lullaby turns to them delaying and me hitting them during that time, so... Ramu once again coming in clutch with that Paralyze. I gotta say, Divine Summon changes certainly make the summons more useful, but this one, I think Ramu is head and shoulders, like, the most useful Divine Summon in terms of, like, unique utility it provides. Speaking of utility, I am, for the next few turns, going to be stubbornly refusing to use Ash's EX, because I had this foolhardy notion that, like, being able to paralyze one of them might save my butt. So we'll see how that works out for me. Deciding not to waste Astrago skill usage when they're taking such reduced damage, so I just dual cast there. And once again refusing to use the Ash EX. There we go. So this team does not bring an overheal as far as if I remember right. Okay, I'm a liar. Right on cue. There's the overheal. So that is our tool to make sure that if we goof up and kill one of them early, the mist doesn't make us miss the HP requirement. It also, handily enough, imperils them to magic, which is useless to us, but that also increases their brave damage by 20%. So that's going to be helpful in terms of making sure that Strago's damage stays consistent late in the fight. Edward at this point is hitting for practically ones, so, you know, do what we can there. Strago isn't, though. My goodness, look at this. Not quite capping, but I'll take 600,000 damage at this phase of the fight without a burst effect on the field. God damn, that old man is just ridiculous. Ridiculous! I'm gonna go ahead and get a cheeky little unbreak right here. That Hope LD, or regular call, Jesus. Tripping over my words. Saber Soul. Yeah, if you enjoy kind of doing like no BT runs or kind of challenge runs like that, Strago is a fantastic investment as far as like a character, you know, blue armor, whatever, good spheres, the works, because he just puts out absurd numbers of damage for a character who isn't, you know, one of the main protagonists who is, you know, given absurd damage stuff. You'll see a Brave Attack in midair there. That was actually for a silly reason. I'm nervous about killing one before the other, and so I didn't want, because most of our damage is going to be coming from Strago dealing full splash, I didn't want to get into an awkward situation where one drops below the other and, you know, I kill one with a Quasar and have to kind of muscle through the other one. Using another Brave to Death there. We have one last turn of sleep, but we're going to go ahead and use Kurosama here. Get a little bit of free extra damage because the turn count is creeping up on us. Make sure we're capped on that hero buff so that it can fall off right now, because I actually realized after doing that, why did I do that? It was a silly move. It wasted the stacks on one of them, and then I realized, oh wait, if they don't act on their turn, thank you Lullaby, the stack doesn't go down. So that was just a whole learning experience in which I thought I was an idiot, but I'm actually a genius. You can thank me for the learning experience later. I know going through actual learning experiences yourself kind of sucks, so it's nice to have guys like me who do stupid things that you can then learn from and not have to repeat. You're welcome. If you're still watching here, you can thank me in the comments for boldly and bravely providing these learning experiences to you at my own expense. Go ahead and stubbornly refresh Hero's Rhyme as if you aren't about to kill them, instead of using the EX there. And here we go, one last Quasar. We've done it. TCC Extreme Challenge, potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed, complete. Otherwise, it was just a fun run to do. I felt good about it, and I hope you enjoyed the ride as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.